So, you're trying to learn how to have a lucid dream, and you've seen various techniques out there, but one thing that you've also probably seen is that there are these lucid dreaming hypnosis and lucid dreaming guided meditation tracks that you can find here on YouTube and on other websites. So do those actually work? Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, they absolutely can. And so I'm going to explain how to lucid dream using hypnosis tracks. I'm going to explain first what they can and can't do, and then I'm going to give you 5 tips on how best to use them. So first, let's tackle what hypnosis tracks are and what they can do. They are great for increasing your chances of getting lucid. You listen to a track that's designed to do that every night for a few nights, and you're going to have a higher chance of getting lucid. They're also useful for improving other aspects of your lucid dreams, like your dream control, dream recall, dream stability. They can easily be combined with other techniques. You know, they're not going to interfere with you, say, doing wild or doing mild or doing reality checks or whatever, because they're more of a supplemental technique. And they're also very low effort. You don't really have to learn much with hypnosis tracks. You put your headphones on, you put on the track and you listen to it, and that's kind of it. So they can be a really great tool. But I have to stress what hypnosis tracks are not. So first of all, they are not designed to make you lucid instantaneously while you're listening to them. I think a lot of people have this misconception. They put on a lucid dreaming hypnosis track and they expect that, they're going to be listening to it and, after 10 minutes of listening, they're suddenly going to be in a lucid dream. That's not what lucid dreaming hypnosis tracks are generally designed for. They're generally designed to implant suggestions into your subconscious so that you're more likely to lucid dream when you go to sleep at night. They're not designed to take you into sleep and then into a lucid dream, because that would require a hypnosis track that was like 2 hours long, and that would also require a different one for every person whose, REM periods start at a different time. Basically, it would be incredibly difficult to make a track that would actually achieve that ever, never mind one that would achieve that consistently for a lot of people. So what the tracks are instead doing is increasing your chances later when you go to sleep later in the night. And what hypnosis tracks are also not is a replacement for basic practices like dream journaling, like meditation, and like learning the different techniques. That's not to say that they can't work on their own. They absolutely can and do, and there are many cases of people who have their first lucid dream through listening to such a track and they don't even know about other techniques and so on. But the fact is, if you want to improve your dream recall and you want to have good dream recall, the best thing to do is dream journal. And the benefits of meditation are far more numerous than the benefits of listening to a hypnosis track. So I would still focus on those fundamentals, but see hypnosis tracks as a bit of a supplement to aid your results. So now that we've established what hypnosis tracks are and what they are not, it's time to move on to some tips for getting the most out of them. So tip number 1 is, if you find yourself constantly doubting the process or questioning what you're hearing or not really being able to relax, then try simply letting your imagination run wild instead of actually listening to what I or what whoever's speaking is saying. The reason for this is simple. Basically, there are kind of 2 groups of people when it comes to hypnosis. There are those that are great responders right away. They listen to hypnosis and it just works right away. They relax really well. Everything goes straight to their subconscious and it's all good. But there's also a second group of people, those who are very much analytical thinkers. If you find yourself overthinking during the hypnosis process, then your conscious mind is kind of getting in the way of the subconscious suggestions. So you may find that you're listening there and you just feel uncomfortable, you're not able to relax, and you just keep questioning every word that the person is saying. And the good news here is that there is a complete fix to this, and that is to simply let your imagination run wild instead of focusing on the words that they're saying. That way it's your subconscious mind listening instead of your conscious one. So if you do find yourself overly questioning what you're listening to, try this out. Tip number 2, try having your evening meditation session right before you listen to a hypnosis track or several hypnosis tracks. The reason for this is that you're going to be very, very relaxed after you've sat down for 20, 30, 40 minutes of meditation. So when you actually put on your headphones and start listening to that hypnosis track, you're going to relax much, much quicker. And so it's going to mean that you're already in a nice deep state of relaxation when those suggestions start coming in. And going back to what I said in the last tip, it also means for those of you who are a bit more analytically minded and who find it hard to relax during hypnosis, it's going to be a lot easier too. Tip number 3 is to listen to one track or alternate between several similar tracks for at least a few nights in a row. So instead of just listening to it once and hoping that you're suddenly going to have tons of lucid dreams every night, you should take a track and listen to it several nights in a row, or take several ones that do the same thing, so several lucid dreaming oriented hypnosis tracks, and listen to them for say a week in a row or something. Listening to a hypnosis track on YouTube is not quite the same as having a proper session with a licensed hypnotherapist, and so it's not going to have quite the impact just listening to that track one time, and that's why you generally want to listen to it at least a few times, and if you have the time, just keep listening to it for a while. Basically think of it like this: if you've been listening to hypnosis tracks for the last few nights, then you're probably getting the benefits currently. So if you stop listening for a while, then you're probably no longer getting the benefits, and also if you've only listened for a night or two, then you might not be yet. Tip number 4 is on days where you have the time, consider listening to multiple tracks in a row. And this doesn't actually have to be lucid dreaming related tracks. In fact, something that I often like to do is I will find several different hypnosis tracks from several different YouTube channels for several different subjects. So I'll have like a lucid dreaming one, I'll have like a confidence one, I'll have like an improved sleep one, and then I will listen to them in order. And basically what you want to do is you want to put the one that you're most keen on getting the effects from last. The reason for that is much like meditating before your hypnosis track will have the effect of making you more relaxed. Having several hypnosis tracks in a row will mean that you're more relaxed each time because of all the suggestions in the previous track. So if you're listening to 2 or 3 tracks in a row, it's often the second or third track that you're getting better effects from. And my 5th tip for you is to experiment with short, say below 30-minute hypnosis tracks after waking for a technique like Wake Back to Bed. So, you can use these before bed, and that's when I normally use hypnosis tracks, but if you wake up for a technique like Wake Back to Bed, you don't have to actually go back to sleep right away. That's part of the technique. You're actually getting out of bed and staying up for a bit, but what you can also do is you can actually just listen to a hypnosis track for those next 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, and then perform the technique as normal and go back to bed. And you might know that I sometimes advise for people like myself who struggle to fall back asleep not to stay up that long when doing Wake Back to Bed, but to only stay up for say 5 or 10 minutes max. Well, if you're actually listening to a hypnosis track during that time and you're staying in bed the whole time, then you can actually get away with being awake a bit longer because you'll still fall asleep pretty easily because of the fact that the hypnosis track is going to relax you. I hope you found these tips helpful. Now, if you're wanting to check out lucid dreaming hypnosis tracks, then I have a playlist on my channel called Hypnosis and Guided Meditations, so go ahead and give that a listen. If you'd like to learn more about lucid dreaming, you can check out my lucid dreaming book, The Lucid Dream Book. It is what the name suggests, pretty much a one-stop shop for lucid dreaming information, and you can check it out in the link in the top right hand corner or down in the description below. Thanks for watching guys, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications if you want to stay up to date with my videos, and if you want to keep watching, check out one of those videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.